Welcome back to the Cryptic Galapagos. What is the one most important thing a combat-focused video game needs? Powerful gear, deadly weapons, solid armour, maybe even a clever gimmick. But what's the point of having it if there's no one to fight? Today we're diving into the enemies of the Cryptic Galapagos, the NPCs or non-playable characters that bring danger, tension and life to the world. This will be part 1 since there were so many enemy types to cover that I had to split this video into 2 parts, and hopefully in the future even more. In the Cryptic Galapagos you play as a marine iguana, a bipedal vegetarian reptile. Meet Sage. Sage is my custom marine iguana character. I'll use Sage as a scale reference to compare to all the different types of threats you'll encounter in this world. Enemies will attack with different circumstances. Some attack on sight, others will attack when provoked, some will only attack due to certain statuses or circumstances, and others attack randomly or abnormally. Before iguanas were even savant, they had predators that would prey on them. But ever since the iguana's intelligence grew, some other creatures also became more aware. With this, they changed alongside the evolving iguanas, first of which were other reptiles. Racer snakes wait in silence while baby iguanas hatch from their eggs, hoping to snatch one as they run towards the rocks. Since this age-old method has changed throughout the years, the only successful racer snake is the one that can take on larger prey. This meant that a lot of predators grew larger in size to survive the prey fighting back. Some racer snakes even evolved venom that they can take down prey quicker. There are a few variants of racer snakes on the Cryptic Galapagos. The common racer snake is the largest. It will chase you down, strike and coil. The red racer snake will strike you with a venomous bite and allow you to run away while waiting for the venom to do its job. And spitting racer snakes are the smallest of the 3. They spit venom toward you, blinding you temporarily and striking while you try to recover. These 3 can be identified by the color patterns on their body. The common racer snake is more brown and grey. Red racers tend to come in different shades of maroon, and spitters are light yellow. The best weapon to counter racer snakes is a strong set of spiky armour and sharp melee weapons, and preferably an anti-venom vial. Opposite to the ground, high in the skies there are 2 dominant birds of prey, the Galapagos hawk and the Galapagos short-eared owl. These birds have grown massive in size, capable of carrying away their prey. Other avian species in the Cryptic Galapagos, such as the water wings and waved wings, are known to display intelligence. Iguanas theorize that these 2 predators possess a similar level of intelligence, but remain deliberately secluded, choosing not to engage with the prey directly. Owls in particular have been observed wearing ornaments around their necks, sometimes the skulls and bone fragments of young iguanas, hinting at a far greater intelligence than what they outwardly display. Only the most skilled archers are able to bring these birds down, with the owls being the most difficult to hunt as they strike at night and move in complete silence. The reefs surrounding the islands are also filled with danger. Different species of fish attack under different circumstances, with barracudas being some of the most opportunistic predators. While some sharks may swim past without incident, one can never be sure what a barracuda is thinking. They are lightning fast and have teeth like daggers. Other fish species can also become highly aggressive, like sharks, but most sharks are either hunting bigger prey or are unbothered. It's mostly Galapagos sharks and tiger sharks that might see you as a convenient snack when swimming by. You might want to avoid these because they are very high level in game. The best counter for these threats is a reliable coastal or tidal companion, or having a useful seal rider bite weapon on your side. Beyond the local wildlife, some creatures were never native to the islands, and their recent presence is seen as a bad omen. Large boars have begun raiding crops on Vulcan and other islands. The females and their young move on quickly when confronted, but the adult males grow enormous, so much so that they develop a craving for meat. Some clans believe these massive boars actively hunt iguanas for food. On one island, the boars eventually became less of a threat, as their numbers mysteriously dwindled. Later, a shocking discovery was made on Vulcan. a massive graveyard of pig bones was found deep within the island's higher forests. Many scouts were sent deeper into the forest to investigate what could have caused it. Sadly, none returned. That very same village that sent those scouts was later left without a single warrior to defend it. Soon after, white-faced aggressive iguanas began raiding nearby villages and outposts in the name of Veranis. These iguanas carried out the commands of their so-called leader. Sadly, most villages and clans refused to believe the surviving witnesses. They dismissed the warnings of a massive meat-eating alien reptile, once said to be called Veranis. According to those accounts, he stood nearly as tall as an earth-shell tortoise when upright, towering over all others. He possessed a long forked tongue which he used to taste the air and smell fear itself. He was not of the islands. There were few eyewitnesses who claimed to have seen this colossal reptile, but despite his apparent rarity, Veranis' warriors soon became an even greater threat. Their attacks grew organized, calculated, and executed with frightening precision. Their numbers continued to swell. Veranis had taken in outcast iguanas from every clan, giving them something that they'd never had before, something to fight for. Veranis' frontline warriors carry short swords, axes, and spears. They are a bit of a challenge to take down because of their training, and these warriors will engage in combat with the player directly. Berserkers are mostly female iguanas with dual weapons like tomahawks, blades, or short swords. They are lethal, rushing you before you have time to unsheath your weapon. It's best to take them down before they come too close. What made Veranis' legion stand out is their operations. The same wild feral boars that caused havoc on the islands were now tamed. The ones that are trained become mounts to the warriors for larger scale conflicts, and the boars that don't comply would become a meal to their leader. Honor among warriors is common in the archipelago, but Veranis does not fight with honor. The Malachite Knights of the Salt Scales have reported raids where iguanas have used weapons never seen before. Experimental weapons that make sounds as loud as falling boulders when they are used. They take down their targets quickly from afar. These sharpshooter iguanas use human weapons which most clans don't know how to operate, which makes them very, very dangerous. It's worth noting that it takes a long time for sharpshooters to get another shot ready, so they are usually covered by ranged archers that carry longbows to take down any opposition that might come too close to the sharpshooters and other warriors. But perhaps the most concerning sight that finally compelled the elders to take notice of Veranis' actions was the recruitment of earth-shell Noceros iguanas into his clan. This was deeply troubling, as these variants had long sworn loyalty to the earth-shell's way of life. Though rarely seen, Veranis now commanded these heavily armored tank-like iguanas to aid his cause. If such headstrong variants could be turned, one could only wonder what other forms he might already have or soon bring into his ranks. Because of Veranis, the elders were forced to sever ties with one of their oldest allies, the red-hot basalt smiths. Once trusted suppliers to the Salt Scales and many other clans, they were renowned for foraging weapons of fire, arms that retained heat and glowed red-hot for hours on end. Over time, however, the red-hot basalt smiths began trading their prized weapons indiscriminately, selling to any clan, even in direct defiance of the elders' orders. Eventually, Veranis' warriors themselves were seen wielding red-hot basalt weapons. This discovery led the elders to impose a complete ban of such arms, driving the basalt smiths into the shadows of the black market. By decree of the elders, anyone found carrying a red-hot basalt weapon was to be reported and handed over immediately. As a result, red-hot basalt smiths are known to attack on sight unless one sheathes their weapon in submission or offers a trade. Their fire-arrowed archer iguanas will take you out before coming too close to trading outposts. A shield is usually a good precaution for this encounter, since these archers are known to shoot first and ask questions later. If you do manage to enter the trading markets, you'll encounter a basalt smith. With them, you'll be able to negotiate deals, and if you're a hard negotiator or do bad trades, these basalt smiths will physically brand you with an X. showing all other outposts that you're a bad trader. This mark also shows other clans and bigger colonies that you've done business with the red-hot basalts, which might cause hostility from your own allies, especially the Salt Scales Malachite Knights. Speaking of Malachite Knights, they are sworn protectors of vulnerable villages and clans. They uphold strict oaths of silence, protection, and other core values that must never be broken. When these oaths are violated, their punishment is absolute. Their tails are severed, their armour stripped away, and a permanent stone mask is bound to their face. They are then exiled to a small island near Eldar, where they must serve their sentence, unable to escape by swimming due to the loss of their tail. Some, often those who may be innocent, manage to escape the island and roam the archipelago as fugitives. They hide in the shadows, move at nightfall, and when encountered will attack immediately to leave no witnesses. These encounters are extremely dangerous. Though stripped of their powerful armor, they remain highly skilled warriors and are notoriously difficult to defeat, although most who face exiled Malachite Knights don't survive. Like the Malachite Knights, some hostile iguanas are not true enemies. They are simply protectors. Entering their territory unknowingly can have fatal consequences. Underwater, it's especially difficult to recognize when one is trespassing. The sea scales function almost like the bankers of the Cryptic Galapagos. They cultivate and control rare underwater currencies and resources of immense value. Many iguanas that have swam too close to these algae banks report being suddenly stunned and interrogated by what appears to be a fully aquatic marine iguana. These specially evolved variants incapacitate intruders with a bioelectric shock the moment that any creature crosses the perimeter. They are particularly effective against shark species, which are highly sensitive to electroreception. These bioelectric iguanas protect the perimeter, where sea scale harvester crabs delicately remove and process their fragile resources. The harvested materials are collected by diving iguanas and further refined on shore. These crabs are very strong and hard to take down, but they work on steep underwater drop-offs, often with their backs exposed to open water. For this reason, the sea scales maintain a final line of defense, the Reef Guardians. These are ichthy-iguana variants that have evolved to spend extended periods underwater. Streamlined and incredibly agile, they can turn on a dime and strike with overwhelming force. They will not hesitate to defend the harvester crabs. Engaging a Reef Guardian underwater is a death sentence. A single Reef Guardian is typically enough to protect more than 20 harvester crabs. Those are some of the enemies you'll encounter on the Cryptic Galapagos. Let me know which enemy you look forward to taking down and looting. Once again, I've split these videos into multiple parts, so be sure to check out part 2 for the continuation of more interesting enemy NPCs. Thank you to my Patreons for supporting the ongoing development of the video game. I appreciate you guys so much. If you want to assist in the development of the video game, please consider supporting my Patreon, or simply like and subscribe if you want to see this world grow. And thanks for watching.